Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, and I want to welcome you, in many cases I see, back to my Psychic Hour. And those of you who are new, I want to thank you so much for dropping in this evening and spending this next hour with me and with all of the other people who are on this call tonight. We have such a great time here every month. It is always free. It's my gift to you and my guide's gift to you, and it's a joy to see you all here this evening. I want to wish everybody a very happy new year. This is the first Psychic Hour of 2018, and it's going to be a great hour, my friends. You're going to be so glad you came on this evening, you clicked on to listen, because I've got so much to tell you about. There's just so much going on. And I'm sure that your guides are going to be talking to my guides. And as you ask your questions of me this evening, I just can't wait to hear what's going to be coming through. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I do have some announcements to make. First, I want you to be aware that my psychic development classes are beginning. This is the winter session. I'm only teaching them once a year in 2018. So if you want to get on board and study psychic development with me, it's a combination of online and at-home study. It is phenomenal. I promise you there is nothing like it anywhere in the world, folks. If you truly want to develop your psychic abilities, I really want to encourage you to get on board with me right now. It's for what you're getting. It's an incredibly inexpensive program. I'm not going to do any more advertising than that online. I don't want to take up the time on this call. I'm just so excited about it. And if you have gifts that you want to develop, I don't want you to miss it. So you can read all about it and register for it either on my website, which is printed right out here. It's www.sandyanastasi.com, or by calling my wonderful, beautiful assistant, Lisa. And the phone number is on the website, or you can email her, and her email is on the website as well. That's Lisa, S-A, Inc. at AOL.com. I think I have it right. At any rate, I'm sure that Lisa's already writing that into the chat room. I have a few openings left in that class. It is a small class because I limit the number of people who can attend it. And I'm just so excited because we're getting ready to get started. And it's going to be especially brilliant this year. And I'll tell you why in a minute. The other announcement I want you to make, I would love for you to please record on your phone or in your calendar. Our next Psychic Hour is going to be on February 11th. So make sure you make a note of that. Sign up for it early because, as you know, I get so many people on these calls that sometimes it's hard to get in, or a lot of times you just end up getting thrown out. So if you want to be part of this, make sure that you sign up early for all of them that you can find out there. I know Lisa lists them on there sometimes a whole year in advance. You can just sign up for all of them if you want, but make a note of them on your calendar so you don't miss it. And why do you want to be here in person? I'm going to be letting you all ask questions. Lisa's in charge of choosing who gets to ask. And what I've asked her to do is if there's a new name on the call that has their hand up, that's the one who's going to get called first. We don't want new people to be able to express and ask. And also, if there are a lot of people in the chat room who are asking questions in the chat room and the same question seems to be coming up over and over again, she'll pick one of you who are asking that question. Other than that, it's pretty random. People who haven't had a chance to ask questions for a while will be asked. And I want you to know that my guides are coming through as we do this session together. And so they will be answering your questions, even though you didn't have a chance to ask them, in someone else's question. So please pay attention to what's coming through, because a lot of what's coming through could actually be coming through for you. Now, here's the big reason why it's important to attend these sessions live. Don't just say, oh, I can listen to the recording afterwards then. That's because my guides are bringing through that information for you who are present here on the call. So by being present, you're going to get your information. I'm also going to give the opportunity for those who are on the call, and only those who are here, to ask me a question if I didn't call on you anytime in the next 24 hours following this call. So between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow night, if you had a question that I didn't get a chance to answer, you get to write it to me in an email. And if it goes to me or Lisa, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to get it. And I will answer that. It might take me a while. Sometimes it's a week or more. But I will answer that question for you. Okay? So that's rare. I know most people don't do that. But I really think if you've taken the time out of your life to be here, well, I will take the time out of mine to make sure you get your question answered. So there. Now, the other thing I wanted to announce, and this is why I'm so excited about the Psychic Development class beginning on January 17th, is because we have 2 eclipses coming up. And if you have followed my work, you know that I pay close attention to the eclipses. I use eclipses, they occur a couple of times a year. I use eclipses as windows into the future. They show me what's coming. And right now, your eclipse diary should be from starting on January 17th. That's why that date's so important. And going all the way through to March 1st. And everything that is occurring during that time period is going to be indicative of things that are coming into your life over the next 6 months. And very often, those things will trigger decisions you have to make that affect your whole world, your whole life. So you can see how very important that timing, that diary you're going to be keeping is. I'm going to have a lot more to say about that in my editorial this month. So be sure to sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already, so that you can get those editorials and blogs and either read them or listen to them. So start your diary on the 17th. My Psychic Development class is starting on the 17th. And so those of you who are on here who are also going to be in the Psychic Development class, I did see a few names I recognized. Guess what? Psychic development is very definitely a big part of your future. And I know that my people who graduate from those classes have life-changing experiences. And it is a way of raising consciousness. So in developing your psychic abilities and skills, you metamorphosis, you grow, you develop, you just beautify in so many ways, becoming that individual that you have wanted to uncover within yourself. That's what those classes do for you. So I'm hoping I'm going to see anyone there who really is ready to grow and develop on a psychic and a spiritual level. So on with tonight's class. Here's how it goes. If you have a question, please raise your hand so that Lisa can know to call on you. If you don't want to speak, you can type your question into the chat box and she will answer it for you herself, or she'll repeat it to me so that I can answer it directly online here. Those of you that she calls on, here's what you're going to do when you get called on when your hand is raised. First, I'd like you to say your name and where you are from. That's always a lot of fun. Next, I would like you to give me your astrology sign, because I'm going to be able to give you a lot of information just from that. And all of us online are going to be able to share that because it'll affect so many of us. And I'd also like you to tell all of us what you are most grateful for in your life right now as this new year is beginning. What is the thing that brings the most joy and the greatest sense of gratitude in your life at this minute? And then I'd like you to ask your question. So, who is our first caller this evening, Lisa? First caller of 2018. This is important.
First caller tonight is going to be Lori. If I can unmute her. Lori, it says you're self-muted. Can you unmute your mic? Lori, can you unmute your mic?
Not an auspicious beginning.
I'll try. There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Hey,
Hello, Lori. I'm glad you figured it out. Lori, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Ah,
I'm a Scorpio, and I'm extremely thankful for getting through tonight and for new opportunities in 2018.
and guess what? You should also be not just thankful for getting through tonight, but also for being the first caller. I bet you didn't expect that.
Well, I'm really excited. I had a very specific reason why I was trying to call and get a hold of you tonight. So I had asked my guides prior to if they needed something to tell me that I would get through. So
I guess
I guess that's my answer.
I guess your guys are working overtime, Lori. Let me show you what's going on here a little bit, and please, all of the Scorpios on the call, and all of the Leos, all the Aquarians, and all the Taurians. These are all you fixed sign folks. Please listen to what's coming through for Lori relative to the astrological placement. Lori, there's a whole lot going on. First of all, involving close friends, brothers, sisters. There's also a lot going on that has to do with communication of all kinds. And I want to just tell you, because the third house is involved, now this is exclusively for Scorpios, since that third house is, involved, I want you to be particularly concerned with what's coming out of your mouth. And for a Scorpio, that's pretty incredible because Scorpios are usually, really kind of, they keep their privacy. They hold things close to their chest. But right now is a time when you could really slip up big. Okay.
Okay.
If you have to yell it, from the mountains, well, pick a close friend and bounce it off them first. Okay.
Okay. Good to know.
Because the planets that are here that are involved, and now we go back to talking about everybody, the planets involved for all of you fixed sign people, those Taurians, Scorpios, Aquarians, and Leos, those planets that are touching things off right now are Jupiter, and that expands everything you're doing, and Mars, and that's your action. Okay? So every single thing that you folks, you fixed sign folks, are doing right now is happening big. So it's kind of like, you need to hammer this nail, and somehow this mallet ends up in your hand and you're shattering walls. So tread lightly, think carefully before you take action. And also, this is good that Jupiter is your guides coming in. And now Lori started her conversation saying, I asked my guides. Well, here it is. Here's the action of the guide. She gets to be the first caller of the night. I love that. And it's about communicating with your guides. And here, Scorpio is the house of communication. I love how that all works out. So, Lori, what is your specific question?
My specific question is I keep receiving a specific sign from the other side in regards to one of my children, and I don't know what they're trying to tell me. I mean, I see this sign everywhere, and it is very, very specific to one specific child, and I don't know what they're trying to tell me about this child.
Well, here are a couple of options before I even draw cards and work with this. First, it could simply be your guides giving recognition to what this child is doing and accomplishing in their lives now, and saying, hey, Mom, pay attention. This kid is something else. You need to pay attention because there's a lot going on, and maybe this kid just needs more Mom right now. Okay? So it could be just as simple as that. Okay? But let's see if there's more to it than that. I'm going to ask my guides, is there's a message here that they are wanting to give you, to give to Lori, other than, wow, check out this kid, keep an eye on them. And, there is a message here, and I'm getting little chills as I say this. Lori, I don't know why, but you have this tendency to go through life. If you quit being emotional, you're going to rattle the. Lori is obviously a projective empath. When she gets excited, she hits the network. You hear it? Well, be aware of that, because, you know, people who are telekinetic, which is what that really is, have a greater ability to manifest than those of us who aren't telekinetic, okay? So when you get real emotional about things, you make them happen. You got it? Just like you can affect the microphone here. So here's what my guides are telling you. This kid is something special, and you know that. But for whatever reason, and I'm not going to go into this, but there have been a lot of losses around you in your life, Lori, and you are petrified that something that you can't protect that kid from, or something major is going to happen. Why are you, you know, like, for example, you're seeing all these signs, and you know they are relative to that child, and you automatically assume the signs are about something bad, don't you?
Well, I just don't know, because it's my daughter, and she's recently getting a divorce, and she's had a lot of stuff going on, and the sign is so specific. It's her birthday, 7/17. I see it everywhere. License plates, weather, expiration dates on things.
Hold it. I get it, but you still didn't answer my question. Why do you get this number? Why do you get her birth date and automatically think the worst?
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I guess because a lot's been going on, and she's real secretive about what she's doing, so it's hard to know what she's doing.
Lori, you're a control freak, and so is she. And she's like you, and she knows. She's so much like you, and she knows she's not going to tell you what's going on, because then you'll try to control her life, and she wants control of her own life. Good for her. Okay? Lori, I'm going back to my guides. Keep wanting to go back to the same question, because this reading is for you, not for your daughter. So you're wanting to know more about your daughter. There you go, into control and protect again, you know. And
right.
By the way, read my psychic protection tip that's coming up for February. It's very important for you. Okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
We'll watch it on YouTube. It'll be there too. The thing is that you have a pattern of thinking. Now listen up, all you Scorpios. The third house that's being accented tonight is about foundation education. It's about foundational thinking. It's about your natural, normal thought processes. And Lori, you tend to jump to negative conclusions.
No, I think that's about morality. I mean, those people that people
right.
morality, they're fucking rude. I would never do that to somebody.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Hang your phone up, please. Hang the phone up, Lori.
No, actually, I'm not on the phone. That's someone that I'm near. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I'm going to have to ask, you know, we all curse once in a while, but let's not let it come on the webinar, okay? Okay.
Right, yes.
Okay, now, back to Lori. Not Lori's daughter, but Lori, because this is important, okay? You are, right. Here's the message for you. You are a creator. You are a telekinetic individual. You are a strong psychic projector.
I'll buy some fucking milk.
To have negative thought patterns that react to everything that you see. So what my guide is telling you is the reason you're getting all this information about your daughter, it's not to do anything. Your daughter is coming out. She's out of the cocoon. She's the butterfly emerging. She's no longer the crawling caterpillar. She's going to embrace life. Good things are coming to her. But you are automatically jumping to negative conclusions because of your own fear-based patterns. The message from my guides.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, the message from my guides is it's important. Let go of the fear. Think in positives, because you are such a powerful projector. A negative projection can affect and damage everyone around you, including her. Now you know why she's being secretive with you. She recognizes that. Yahoo!
Probably correct, yes.
There's a message. Now that's the message from your guides. And I've got to tell you, you've got some real negative people and situations around you. Now this has nothing to do with your daughter. You've got people around you who like to keep you in that frenetic, panicky, fear-based state, because that way they can feed off your energy. And they are making it very hard for you to remain positive, and they even tried as hard as they could to stop you from getting this message tonight. Be aware. Okay?
I believe that. I do believe that.
Okay. Thank you very much. And folks, all of you Scorpios, I hope you heard that message, because what was coming through for Lori was coming through for you too. That was very important. Okay? And all of you fixed sign people who are listening, in some way, either directly or through someone you're associated with in your life, you've got the same projection-oriented stuff going on, and a real need to separate the negatives from the positives, especially now as we're initiating so many new, wonderful things, and we want 2018 to be the best year of our lives. So let's make it that way, okay? Make a promise to yourself. That's how you're going to make things happen this year, in a positive way. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Lori. And tell you, Denise,
Thank you.
I'm glad she's in your life, because she's going to turn you into somebody very positive, because you can be a world changer once you get in control of your own power and your own energy. Okay? Good girl.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who is our next person?
Now, our next person, it simply says, live life.
Oh, boy. Hello.
And it's self-muted.
Hello, Mr. and Miss Live Life.
She's on the phone, so I'm not sure how to tell her to unmute that.
Well, if you're on the phone, you've got to be able to, there's usually a press star in a code to put in, and it gives that to you at the beginning of the webinar. If you didn't do that, you may have to write your question into the chat box for Lisa to repeat. Okay? Lisa, while she does that, while she figures it out, or he figures it out, because we don't know if this is a guy or a gal, would you please go to our next caller?
All righty.
Hello,
Hello?
it's me. Live life.
Yes, okay.
Hi.
Okay. So, live life, and I guess that is what we're going to be calling you today. Thanks for giving me that really beautiful handle. And can you please give us, where are you calling from? Are you in the country? Are you in a particular state? Where are you?
I am in Florida.
Awesome. Like me. Isn't it a great place?
Yay.
Yeah. And what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Well, recently I've hit rock bottom is kind of what how I felt. So I guess breathing.
Okay. Good girl. You're here and you're recognizing it. And that's the first step towards turning it around.
Yes.
Okay. What's your sign? What's your astrological sign?
Libra.
Okay. Oh boy, we're going to have fun with you. My assistant, Lisa, is also a Libra. And so Lisa.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Now, if you look at the chart that I have here, I told you Scorpio was that third house. Well, look at this. Libra is the second house. Okay? And in astrology, Libra is the sign that's always all about relationships. So everything that you do in life in some way concerns other people, or reacting to other people, or defining yourself by how other people treat or act towards you. There's the bottom line with Libra. But it's on the second house in the chart. And that second house is about your money, your finances, organizing things, changing professions, deciding what you want to be when you grow up. It's all about you developing your own talents and abilities and skills that you can use for what? To create a financial foundation for your personal security. Okay? And so right now you're doing this, all of you Libras are doing this, and all the other cardinal signs, the Aries, the Capricorns, the Cancers, are also being affected by this energy. And what are you doing? You're doing the juggling act to try to figure out what's the best way to handle all of your stuff, to get organized, to be able to make money for you instead of taking money from you. You're evaluating your friends and your relationships and your family members, and you're saying, do these people give as much to me as I give to them?
Oh my God.
Am I dragging them through life like a chain over my back? So there's for all of you cardinal signs, these things are going on right now, and they should be. There's nothing wrong with this. This evaluation needs to happen right now. So guess what, my friend, Miss Libra, okay?
Yes.
You're at the time right now where you need to stop being reactive and start being proactive. And for you, because of your life situation, and this is typical of all Libras, you have been in a reactive pattern most of your life. So, i.e., I'm giving this as an example. You're hungry, you want to go eat. You know exactly what you want to eat, but you're going with your friend. And you don't know what your friend wants to eat. So your friend says, well, what do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What do you want to eat? And you say, oh, I don't know. What do you want? And your friend says, well, I don't know. Because your friend, who's also a Libra, wants you to lead the way. And now you can be a leader if you're by yourself, but because you don't want to upset that friend, you don't want to step on them, and the two of you could end up all night going back and forth and nobody gets to eat. You got it? Okay.
Very
Well,
true. I'm indecisive.
But it's not indecisive. There is nothing indecisive about Libra. Libras always know what they want when they're alone. Okay? It's when other people get involved. Well, if I do this, it's going to upset this one. If I do this, it's going to upset this one. If I do this, I can't do that. And there they end up. The world says you're indecisive. You're not indecisive. You just have to get all the people who are telling you what to do out of your life and get yourself and say, what do I really feel like eating tonight? They can either come along or not come along because that's what I'm eating.
So true.
Okay, now that's what's going on for you right now. You're needing to be proactive instead of reactive.
Okay, I need to work on that.
Start to take action. As soon as you make a decision, you set your goals, say, I don't want that anymore. It hasn't made me happy. I'm going to try that instead. And if I don't like that, well, I'll change that too, and I'll do something else. Because I'm going to start to pay attention to how I feel about things and honor that for a change. And what's so interesting is that as soon as you start to do that, you're not going to be at rock bottom anymore. Good things are going to start to come into your life for a change. Good people are going to start to come into your life. The old people, and the old jobs, and the old stuff that was always draining your energy is just going to start dropping away because you will have chosen a healthy new pattern that changes your life and gives you momentum to build a new life that works better for you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm actually 33, and my life number, I guess, is number 6. Does that have something to do with, like, what I'm going through right now? Because my path is completely dark. Like, I have no idea where I'm going, where I should be. I've tried pretty much, I don't even know. I don't know what happened. It just, like, I haven't worked in a year. I have not been able to find myself. I'm completely lost, like a little lost puppy. And even though I'm 33, I feel like I'm 5 years old.
Well, you know why I'm smiling? Because my in numerology, my quiet self is a 33. Okay. And I lived at number 6.
Okay.
Get this. The first 8 houses in my life I lived at were all numerologically a number 6. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Well, to get the message. The number 6 I associated with Jesus the Christ, who was sacrificed. He's one of those God figures in our world that was sacrificed, okay? And so the number 6 is, a lot of people forget this. It's when the 6 comes from 33, Jesus was 33 when he died, okay? That number 6 says success, but only through sacrifice, okay?
Nice.
So you've been going through that sacrifice. And until you learn to pay attention to those inner feelings and move in the direction of what feels good, you're going to say, in fact, when I heard this, my guides laughed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to.
That's okay.
But when you said I'm at rock bottom, my guides laughed because there were so many times in my own life where I said, oh, I'm at rock bottom. And you know what they did? They took me lower. Okay? So let me tell you, there is not a bottom. There is no bottom. It can always get worse until you start to make it better. It's up to you to move into something better. Are you hearing me?
Why did I pretty much lost like 8 friends in the matter of my birthday till now?
Hmm.
Like, I'm lonely, and it's not a good feeling. I'm not a loner. Libras are not loners, like, at all. And for some reason,
No, I got to show you this. You see
okay,
this sign Libra over here? That's who you are, right? Well, if
okay,
you are a Libra, every Libra on this call, listen. If you're a Libra, your opposite sign, which is Aries,
Aries.
is where your Earth is. The Sun and the Earth are always exactly opposing each other. So if you're a Libra, a part of you is definitely a loner. Aries, self-starter, control-oriented. Wow, I'm going to be the first one off the starting block, right?
Leader, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? If you're an Aries, your Earth is in Libra. So I don't know if you've ever been, when I see a Libra in a relationship with an Aries, I always giggle because they change places back and forth. Sometimes the Aries
Oh.
plays Libra, sometimes the Libra plays Aries. So I'm not going to agree with you that you don't know how to be alone. What I'm going to say is that you haven't given yourself the opportunity to learn how to be alone. And it may very well be that the universe right now, your guides, if you will, is giving you this small window of time to be alone so that you can actually hear your own voice. You see, what you're really telling us on this call this evening is that you don't like being alone because then you've got to make your own decisions. You don't like being alone because then you do have to be proactive. You cannot be reactive. You can't just sit there and wait for the phone to ring. You actually have to get yourself out and go to a meetup or go meet somebody to make something happen in the relationship area. You can't just wait for the work to come in. You have to go out and get the work. And so at this time in your life, you're being made to be proactive. It's exactly what my guides were just telling you. This is a tremendous opportunity for growth for you, and you should cherish it because it probably won't last long. Okay?
Okay,
What's going to
okay.
happen for you is that as soon as you get your sea legs under you and say, this being on my own stuff, I'm actually enjoying that. If I feel like a hamburger, I can go and get it. And I don't have to worry about cleaning up the kitchen for somebody else. You're going to get to the point, and quickly, where you really are enjoying that independence of action. And
So
then
it's
the instant
okay.
you do that, you become balanced, you start to get happy with life again, and a new person is going to jump on that healthy new you, and your old patterning is going to want to turn around and give them every part of you again. What are you going to
That's
do?
exactly,
Well,
yes, that's exactly what I feel like I'm going through.
what are you going to do?
Like,
Are you going to give it all away, or are you going to keep it for yourself next time? All that good stuff.
well, as far as, I don't know what that means, actually.
Yeah, I know. You haven't found it yet.
But
Did you get what I was talking about?
yes, in a way.
Mm,
I feel like what you discussed early on
yeah,
in this call, or not my call, but the very beginning of the webinar.
right. Exactly.
The classes.
Yes, and this is your time. This is going to be
Oh,
the best time in your life for your development because it
oh,
isn't depending on somebody else's choices and decisions. And when you do have a new relationship in your life, when you do have a bunch of friends calling you and wanting your time and your space and your energy, your attention, hopefully in the future, you will be able to put yourself first because that's what this is really all about.
and it has nothing to do with being in a narcissistic relationship for 4 years,
Well, why were you in the narcissistic relationship for 4 years? It's,
because I
yeah.
believe I'm attracted to that because I believe my mom is.
Well,
And
wait. Yes, you might have a family pattern of it and all that other good stuff, but let's stop blaming everybody else. You know why? They're not going to fix your life.
correct.
Okay? So
Well, I'm not
nobody's blaming
necessarily
anybody
blaming.
else. Okay?
I'm not blaming. I'm facing the facts.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you have identified where it came from is great. And now you can say, well, that was her problem. It's not mine. I'm leaving that one behind. I'm moving on with life. Okay?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
do that?
Does my love life, anything come through?
Yep. And, I think we are going to start having a healthier love life, all in all. When you learn to set more solid boundaries and to hold on to what is yours. See, right now,
Yes.
you don't even know what's yours. You've given everything away to the point where you don't even know where you end and somebody else begins. This
That makes
is
sense.
why you're alone right now. And what I'm hoping, what my guides are hoping, is that when you're in the next relationship, when the guy starts leaving his clothes in your house, you say, we're not living together. Take him home.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Boundaries. and and then when you eventually do live with somebody again, keep those boundaries. No. Those clothes can't go in my living room. We share that. You put them in your closet. Okay? You understand
Okay.
what I'm telling you, right? Boundaries.
It's basically dictatorship. I
Yes.
have to set the boundaries
Right.
because
Absolutely.
everybody else has been setting it for me.
Yeah. Yes, now you got it. There's a message, folks, for everybody. All of you cardinal signs. All of you. Okay? Every one of you
That does
on
make
this
sense.
call tonight who's an Aries, a Libra, a Cancer, or a Capricorn in some area of your life. It's about setting those boundaries so that you can be whole and then you can be happy. Okay?
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
If I may,
Yeah.
one more question?
No, I can't. I have too many
No?
people with their hands
Okay.
up. Okay, but
That's
thank
okay.
you so
Thank you
much
so
for asking that
much.
question. I think that gave everybody on the call a lot to think about. So thank you. Lisa, who is next?
All right, the next victim for 2018 is going to be Alice. Alice,
You and I are connected, Lisa. I was just sitting here looking at Alice's name on my screen. Thanks for listening. And Alice is very impatient, I can tell. She got both of our attention.
Oh no, I'm pretty patient. How are
Okay,
you?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. I am really excited that I got on. I am calling from colorful Colorado, and I'm a crab.
Awesome.
And I am most thankful right now for my brand new job opportunity. I just got hired at a really good company, and so far I like it a lot. And I really feel like I'm helping people, so that makes me feel like it's a job with purpose.
Yeah, I like that. I absolutely love that. And let me ask you, as a follow-up to the call before you, where
Uh,
are you setting the boundaries in your life right now? Because remember, cardinal signs, boundaries, very important for all of them right now.
I was really into that conversation. As soon as you said that, I thought, where am I setting boundaries? And I really don't know where I'm setting boundaries. I'm in a new kind of relationship stage with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that one of the most things I've been concentrating on lately is, for a while there, sometimes they talk to me like they were the parent. And I think that we have finally established, I'm the mom and I make the rules. I say where things go, I have the final say in some of the more important things. And so it's been a lot. There's been boundaries there, but
I think that's exactly, and as a Cancer is all about family and nurturance. So that's
mhm.
exactly where I would expect you to be setting your boundaries. And in this chart, this is a horary chart that everyone on this call tonight will respond to. And it's on the 11th house, which has to do with friends. So you're setting boundaries there.
Mhm.
It also has to do, if you have 3 children, specifically with the third child.
Oh
And
yeah.
right, and a little bit with the first child. The first
Oh yeah.
child, your first child right now, this is personal, but is your first child by a different father than the third child?
Nope, all 3 is the same.
Okay. It's interesting because this chart is showing like 2 different fathers. And
She
so,
doesn't speak to him, though. The boys, my younger two, do still speak with him. She doesn't have a relationship with him at all. They've cut it off.
okay, that's why. And there may very well be that there's a person in the future or a different guy that she will relate more to as her father.
Mm.
Okay, but this chart is saying that right now, the one in your family who needs the most attention and nurturance is your daughter.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
So just pay close attention to that. Look at this. Look at this house. This is your first daughter based upon the chart. And
Uh-huh.
in that house, you've got 4 planets, and she's being quiet, secretive, not talking. And there is some guy she's talking to that she relates to as a father figure. It's obviously not her father, but
Mm-hmm.
she knows a whole lot of things also about her father that you don't know that she knows. And it may
Oh.
be that right now you have to respect her privacy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But don't be surprised if over the years a lot of those things come out, okay?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And your reaction is going to make a big difference as to what she can express. Again,
Okay.
it's one of the interesting things people don't understand about boundaries that is a good thing to know about is that boundaries are great because they can be flexible. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can set a boundary, and then if the person lives up to something or their life situation changes, you can adjust that boundary, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much what you're going to be doing with her for I think many years. Okay, because
Oh, wow.
it's taken
Okay.
a long time to work through those parental issues there. Okay. Meanwhile, as far as you have a third child, I'm assuming is that a boy?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because now how old is he? Because I see so much movement around him. It's almost like he's getting ready to go to college or to move out or to move.
He is hopefully not about to move out. He's 15. I had actually asked you a question about him in the past. He was accused of something, and so we went through court, and it was extremely hard. I feel like we're somewhat pulling out of that hard moment of our lives now. We're kind of hopefully nearing the end. I was wondering if my guides were going to say whether or not we're at the end. But that wasn't really my question. My question was, more if, I don't know, I didn't want to stop you from what you were going to say about Ryan, though.
Please don't stop me, because this was important to everyone on the call, because it picks right up from where that last conversation with our last caller was leading. Okay, it is not at an end, because although you have moved on, 2 of your children haven't. Okay, and your son obviously is one of them. He needs to know that it all ends when he chooses for it to end. And that means that he takes his attention from that experience and he says, that's done. It's no longer a part of my life. I've learned whatever I needed to learn from it. I'm ready to move on. And he pulls his attention into his new life and starts to put his energy there. The important message here, folks, is that the past is the past. We can only truly put our attention and affect our lives in the now. And if you're in the now, thinking about the past and brooding about the past and worrying about how the past is going to affect the future, you're going to be recreating the past in your future. You see it?
That's amazing. Yes, yes.
So please tell him that, because he'll get it. This, your son is pretty brilliant. Okay, I don't know if you're aware of that. He doesn't think, his brain does not work the way yours or mine works. I think it might have to do with playing so many video games. His brain goes, and then he's led by his emotion. When he is targeted on something which is positive and constructive and worthwhile, he is amazing, and he's productive, and he's clear, and his energy is powerful, and he's one of those people who can be a very strong manifester. But when he looks back and gets trapped into the negative old cycle, then nothing good can come of that. Nothing good in the future can be developed.
Wow. Okay, I will definitely talk to him about that.
Now, what was your other question? Because you were actually on a roll when that.
Oh, well, I was excited because the super moon that we had on January 1st was 11-degree Cancer, and I am 11-degree Cancer, and I was wondering, I know I was pretty excited about that. I was thinking that might mean something big, you know, could happen in my life soon, but I don't know if, like, maybe my guides could give me a hint what that might be.
Well, the moons, just a moon, okay, even a supermoon, it only magnifies those things for those 2.5 days, then it moves on, unless it's involved in an eclipse. Now, I'm not quite sure of the degree of the eclipse, but the eclipse that's coming, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk a little more about the eclipses. The eclipse that is going to be coming it's not on the 17th, actually, it's January 31st. It's a lunar eclipse, and I keep wanting to say it's at 17 degrees of Leo, but I may be off on the degrees. The thing is that in this chart, that talks about the subconscious. It talks about the things that motivate us, our dreams, our desires. In the natural zodiac, it talks about children. Okay, it talks about how you give your love, how you nurture your children, and also how your children themselves need to be nurtured and cared for, and how you need to self-nurture. And all of this in tonight's chart is wrapped up in all of our subconsciouses. Right now, this is what's coming. This is what we need to be working on. And then the eclipse that happens on the 15th of February, that's one day after Valentine's Day, will be in Aquarius. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember the degree. I think it's about 27 or 28. It's towards the end of the sign. And that is in the house of everyday life and work, brings us back into past things. Now, if you look at this chart, we're growing right now in the 12th house. So we're growing through our dreams, through our spirituality. We're growing through our getting a connection to our guides and our subconscious. All that's the 7th house. And learning about our past lives even. And we have to change those things, those ways of dealing with our everyday life and our physical expression in our everyday life in order to be able to draw through those things that we really did, that we're really wanting to manifest and create in our world. So the idea is to draw that information from our heart's desire through into our everyday life. So we get in touch with it as we move into the beginning of February. And then coming out the end of February, we get to manifest it, take a step back to our past in order to rebalance and refocus and use that as a jump off point for a new life, a new situation in our lives. So there's a lot of great stuff that's coming up, but you've got to apply all that into your own life. Now the supermoon, how does that fall on this? That supermoon would have been up here. This question came up in the sign, and so I would say it has to do with you looking at yourself and figuring out how can I best nurture my children, my family, this good stuff that's happening in my life that's making me feel whole. How can I give it out to them?
Yeah, that sounds like something I want.
and the supermoon gave you that ability to do it in a big way. Okay. Hey, good luck to you, and thank you so much for the call.
Thank you.
Thanks. Lisa, who's next?
All right, our next person is going to be Vonda. Vonda, I tried to unmute you. It says you're self-muted.
Hello, Vonda.
Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi there. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So, where are you from, Vonda?
I'm from Illinois.
Okay. And you are?
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay. Oh boy, that eclipse on February 15th is going to zap you.
Yes, it is. I can feel it already.
And what is it you're most grateful for in your life right now?
Well, I'm always grateful for my family, but I'm most grateful for the friends that I've acquired in the last year. So
very
that's where I'm at the moment. Aquarius
is that sign that generates friends. So I'm really glad that that's working out for you. It makes you feel complete. It's that wanting to be a part of humanity thing that comes with all of that. That Aquarians just are. They just ooze it. So, what is your specific question?
I have been working hard to connect with my guides and really try to focus on how all of that can help me in my life and get going in the right direction and get everything in order. And it seems like every time I get so far, it all falls apart again. And I'm not really sure if I'm not communicating with them correctly, if I'm not listening to them. And I just thought I'd get a little guidance as I start the new year here, because I already feel like it's starting off not well.
Well, let me tell you, I think that you just gave yourself your own reading. Because,
of course.
The instant you said guides, my left ear, and that's where I mostly hear through, began to tingle and get an echo in it. Okay.
Mine does that.
Yep. And I figured. And I immediately heard, she's clairaudient. We're talking to her.
Yes.
She's not listening.
I knew it. I knew it. I feel like sometimes they almost look at me like, we're just not going to say anything because we already told you 10 times and you're not listening.
And there's another thing too, and this is, I think, crucial. Because you have had clairaudient experiences where it sounds like something's literally outside of yourself, or it does a different voice. Because of that, your guides coming through and sounding like your own voice is confusing.
Yes.
And you're missing a lot of what they're saying right now because your own voice is overpowering their voice. It's almost like you're hearing their voice from a higher level, and it's sounding like your own voice, so your own voice mirrors it, and then you say, no, that's only my imagination. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. And that's where I do believe that I've connected, but there is still a part of me that is having a hard time, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's about getting the you out of the way, and I'm going to give you the same dribble that everybody else gives you, and that but it's true. Meditation is going to be an extremely good help for you right now, and they're telling me that you have gotten away from meditation.
I have.
The reason why it's so hard for you to tell your voice from that inspired kind of a voice is because you aren't doing the meditation you should be doing. There are many, many forms of meditation. So, if you can do sitting meditation or yogic style meditation, great. But if meditation is just sitting under a tree and turning off the phones and turning off the computers and giving yourself breathing space, because what they're showing me is that your brain has literally been going in 15 different directions at the same time. And because it is so active, when their information comes in, you can't recognize it.
Okay.
You see? So whatever way you have of stilling your mind, maybe it's listening to meditation tapes before you go to sleep. That just came through. That might be a real good key for you.
I've actually been doing that for the last week, trying to see if I can get it in somehow, because I've been having a very hard time concentrating.
Yeah, and and here's the thing: when you keep even the word concentration means I got to get my mind under control. But that's the problem. You see, that's the problem. You need to actually get your mind to do the exact opposite. You need to get it unclenched. You need to stop it from flitting around from flower to flower like a butterfly, but not by controlling it, by opening it and letting it go and letting it take a breath so that it can focus on one thought at a time.
Okay.
And I think those meditation tapes are going to work. Good luck.
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Lisa, who is next?
Alrighty. Our next victim is going to be Kim. Kim, you're unmuted.
Hello. Kim.
Hello. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm well. And how are you this evening?
Good, good. Everything that you've said with everyone has hit me in the head. So we're all on the same page, all the way down to the 7 and 17. And what's going on is the other night I turned on my TV and every channel was black, and every channel there was a voice that sounded mechanical, and it just said my name, Kim, Kim, Kim. I changed the channel, same thing. I even videoed it because I thought I was going crazy. And now every time I turn on the TV, there's an actress talking Kim, and I'm in a store, everybody's saying Kim. I don't know what they're trying to tell me, and it's driving me bonkers.
did it, well, first of all, the very action itself, okay? Understand how energy works. You are the one who's here on the physical plane. So
Right.
whether a deceased person, whether a frolicking spirit, or whether your guides want to affect something here on the physical plane, like the television turning it black or the speaker saying your name, they have no recourse except to work through your energy to make that happen. Okay?
Okay.
So, wherever this came from, whether it was spirit, whether it was your higher self, your guides, it was your energy that did it. So there's one big message right here that stands out. You're another one of those wonderful kinetic mediums, Kim. Okay.
Okay.
And what I would say, this is the way I would interpret your experience if it happened to me. The universe, i.e., your guides, whoever those guides are, your higher self, is saying, Kim, pay attention. Kim, it's about you right now. Wake up. Pay attention. Okay? Now,
Okay.
okay, well, pay attention to what? They got my attention, but to what? How
Right.
about to yourself and to your life and to what's going on in your life right now? Recognize that you can't afford right now to move through life in a myopic haze. You have to pay attention because there are critical decisions, there are critical actions that are happening around you right now. There are major things going on in the lives of the people around you that you're close to that will affect how you interact with them in the future. And you must be observant. So the way I would interpret this, if it occurred to me, would be like a friend tapping me on the shoulder, saying, pay attention here. Don't you daydream. Pay attention. Don't miss this. You getting?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And my guides are saying, in particular, you have an enormous amount of psychic ability that you have kind of put on the back burner, okay? And you're aware of what you have done in the past, what you can do. There is a woman around you that you have a very strong emotional and literally psychic link to. I don't know if it's your mother or a sister or a very close friend. My guides are saying she's older, so she's like a mother figure. But she and the issues, the things that she's going through right now, are pulling your attention away from so many things in your own life that are important to you right now. Okay? So it's not that you can't love her and care for her and associate with her, but you can't let her breathe for you. Am I making sense?
So is the person you're talking about alive or on the other side?
Interesting, because my guides are saying that there's one of each.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
that one that's on the other side that you were so close to, who have you replaced her with, who's in your life right now? Because the same energy is at work, and both of those are pulling your attention away from living your own life and seeing things that you really need to see. Now, do you have a son, or is there a younger man in your life that you're close to that you look at as a great support in your life?
No younger males. I've got a younger brother.
Okay, I'm going to say it's the younger brother then, because I think that in his own way he's been trying to draw your attention to this. So he's one of the people you should be paying more attention to, and you'll get a better handle on what you're being told. The big thing that I'm getting as to why it's so important is that there are crucial things coming up that have to do with your finances, your material well-being, and career. There are things around you right now that are in a state of flux, and you must be aware, on target, in the moment, to make sure that things don't get away from you that will stop you from succeeding with what you're doing.
That makes sense, because lately I've been dealing with vertigo, and I'm thinking it's not vertigo, it's just being torn in all these different circles.
Oh, yeah. And, well, I'm going to say not even just being torn in all the different circles. Honest to God, this is kind of, and I don't want it to sound negative, because I don't think this is an evil or a bad person. But I think what's happening is she's a confidant for you. And you talk to her and she's pulling your attention to the wrong things. You're very psychic. You're very intuitive. Without her input, you would be making very easy decisions and your mind wouldn't be shattered and you wouldn't be scattered as you are. But what's happening is you're sharing this issue or that issue or this concern with her, and she's giving a point of view that in her world might be valid, but it doesn't work in yours. And it's creating a lot of confusion.
Okay, so pull back and be Kim.
Pull back and be Kim, yeah. And
Right.
think of it as really good training wheels, because all through life you're going to be you're very empathic, Kim, and you know that. And all through life you're going to be meeting people that you have a strong bond to. And if you allow that, this is your boundary we were talking about before, if you allow that bond to integrate with you too closely, it will pull you into that other person's mode of thinking and behaving and acting and emoting. And that's not yours and it doesn't work for you. And it's not going to put you in the healthy place in this material world that you should be in. Okay?
So the empath in me has to turn somebody off to go forward. Got it.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
God bless
Yes.
you. And once again,
Thank you so much.
question. I think it's really helpful to everybody. Okay, Lisa, who is our next person? I know we're a little bit over time, but I want to take one more because we've had people be so patient here.
Alrighty, our last person of the evening then will be Ellen. Ellen, you are self-muted. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Did I do it?
You did it, Ellen. Ellen,
Hey.
hello.
Hi, this is my first time with you, so thank you.
Awesome. I'm glad you got to that. Now I know why they said one more. Okay. So, Ellen, where are you calling from?
Clearwater Beach.
Wonderful. My hometown. I love Clearwater. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah, a little chilly right now, but other than that, it's nice.
Yep. So, what's your sun sign?
Virgo.
Okay. Hey, we haven't had any mutable signs yet. And here you are. Guess what? The ascendant in this chart is Virgo. So it should be all about you tonight. Okay. And this is the first house, so literally. So it is about you. The first house in astrology is about you, thinking about you, developing you, emoting about you. But opposing, so this is all you mutable signs, but especially Virgos. And opposing that position in the chart is Neptune and Chiron. And it's in the house of relationship. So there are relationships in your life that have kind of been exposed. People have turned out to be not what you thought they were. People might have let you down or confided things in you that shocked you a little bit. But what you need to learn to do is to recognize that that has now cleared the way for healing to occur. Healing. And Virgo is all about healing, isn't it? Okay?
Yes.
So when you recognize that this is about your healing, not just healing the relationship or forgiving them or understanding them, but in letting go of any overwhelming feelings that what they are or what they did was wrong, you become whole again, and you allow the relationship to become whole again if you choose to. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how that relates to what's going on in your life right now, but here it is in the chart. Okay? What are you most grateful for right now?
I am grateful for every second of every day of my life because I am living my dream life, and I'm so happy for the choices I've made to get here.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. We all need to hear that. And what's your big question?
My question is, my business, I have a business that I do online, and it's going through some changes. So I'm feeling really confused about it. So I've been told that I need to put my business called the Mermaid Haven, and I've been making mermaid manifestation bowls. And now they're saying that not to call them mermaid manifestation bowls, but make them be called blessing bowls or intention and blessing bowls, and take them on the road and go to sell at sea fests in Florida. So now I don't know if I'm just being more mainstream with these because they have like Reiki energy in them and angel energy. So if you can feel energy, you can feel them, and the bowls are really, really pretty too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really feeling confused about if I should keep the pricing the same. Do I still keep the oracle cards with them? And I did need different wording for the marketing, apparently. I'm just feeling really confused about what direction I'm going in with all of this.
Well, as you've been talking, I've been asking questions, and I think that going to shows and exposés and things like that is good. Staying online is good. One of the problems that you've been having is that if you, and you're right about this, because you do have a drive to bring your business to the next level. Okay? And that's what's really at the root of all this. You could continue exactly as you are, and it would continue performing exactly as it is. Okay? But that inner drive, I want to do more with it. I want to expand it. I want to see what this can really become, like a mother with a child. That's a drive that you have. But the only way that that expansion is going to happen is if you're both online, because that's where your foundation is, and in the physical world, and by going to shows and different expos and maybe certain big store chains eventually, and making the connection in there. Yes, the idea is if you're going to do that, you have to make it more mainstream, okay? Which is what you do when you go to saying this is a blessing ball. Now, what my guides are saying is, you know, you can do both, because those mermaid balls would be great in Florida in all those little, you know, coastal stores, you know. So there's a market for them too. Do both, okay? So keep it as a twosome. Keep it as two different lines of the same. Okay. But I'm also saying that in order to do this, and here's the big stumbling block for you, you're going to reach a point pretty quickly. You're almost at it already, where you cannot do all of this by yourself. Okay. And this is actually your bigger stumbling block, because you're very resistive. There's a woman around you that, you know, would help you and has been giving you a lot of these ideas, and her ideas are great and wonderful, and she's sort of the one who's really pushing at you, and this is good, but something in you doesn't trust her, okay? And so you're feeling very reticent. Yeah, as I expand this, she's going to be the most natural person to bring in, to partner with, but I don't feel like that's right, okay? My guides are saying, you must trust yourself. You must trust yourself. So if this person acts as a benefactor, as a guide, as a somebody who's giving you coaching in this area, well, fine, pay her for that, if that makes you feel better. But don't bring her in as a partner for this business if it doesn't feel right to you. My guides are telling me that there will be a male partner that will feel right to you, and he's not on the scene yet. But yeah, but you're going to be able to have somebody that you meet who's very familiar with these physical world things and can help to open you doors as to how to get into some of these shows, how to do it in a cost-effective way where you don't lose your shirt on it. See, you know the internet world, and the internet world that you are working with is, because you've learned it, it's fairly inexpensive to do the back end part of your business so that you can make money on the front end, okay?
Yes.
Your guides are right that to really build it, you've got to have a foothold in both worlds. But in the physical world, you don't know how to do that, and things are going to cost a lot, and you can lose your shirt very easily. You don't make enough in the internet part of your business to support a physical world presence without the knowledge. So the person you need to bring on board with you is somebody, not a partner, somebody that you will pay or give a percentage of what you do, but that person needs to know how to make money doing shows. Okay?
Okay.
You might even go to a couple of shows, ones that might have struck your fancy, and look around for somebody who's acting as a helper that attracts you, and say, you know, do you have time to do other shows? Would you like to work with me? You know, what do they pay you here when you do the shows for them?
Okay.
Not a bad way to pick up somebody who knows what they're doing, right? But use your eyes and use your instinct, okay? And trust yourself. Trust. But the trust is yourself. Okay?
Okay.
good luck. This sounds exciting.
All right, thank you.
And folks, that has to be my last call this evening. I want to say bless all of you for being with me still into this new year. Have a wonderful, wonderful 2018. Once again, if you've been on this call with me and I did not get your personal question answered within the next 24 hours, you're welcome to email that question. After that, I'm going to cut the questions off because I get too many if it takes too long for me to answer them. Once again, a reminder, Psychic Development with me right here online begins on the 17th. And if you want to join that, you can sign up online. Please, please, please don't let this opportunity go by if that's one of your dreams. And remember to record the date for the next Psychic Hour. It is going to be on February 11th. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the month.